There comes a moment in life when the soul whispers something so deep that even words fail to capture it. It's as if, suddenly, you feel an invisible presence touching your chest, an echo that resonates without sound, a sense that something greater is about to unfold. Many people spend years ignoring that calling, thinking it's just loneliness or anxiety. But the truth is, the universe is preparing you for an encounter that goes beyond the ordinary. That's when the spiritual signs begin to appear, like breadcrumbs left by destiny, guiding you back to the reunion with your other half. And if you're feeling this right now, it's not a coincidence, it's your soul awakening, announcing that something profound is on its way. Think about those mornings when you wake up with a tightness in your chest for no apparent reason, like you're missing someone you haven't even met yet. Or those moments when a song comes on the radio and tears begin to fall without any logical explanation. That's not madness or weakness, it's the silent language of the soul, preparing the ground for your twin flame, that spiritual connection that goes far beyond any relationship you've ever had. It's as if your heart is being tuned, like a musical instrument before a grand performance. The universe doesn't waste movements, and every strange emotion, every synchronicity, every wave of emptiness followed by fullness is shaping you to receive what's most sacred, divine love. What's interesting is that many people search for answers outside themselves, in books, in videos, in predictions, but the true calling comes from within. It doesn't shout or demand, it simply echoes, softly and persistently, until you finally stop and listen. And when that happens, life begins to change almost magically, people leave, situations dissolve, and you feel that you're being prepared for something completely new. That's the exact moment when the spiritual awakening starts to gain strength, clearing the way for your twin flame's energy to finally flow toward you. And the most fascinating part? This process isn't about finding someone, it's about becoming who you truly are, so that the reunion can happen naturally, as if the universe had just been waiting for you to be ready. Most people believe that finding their twin flame is like in the movies, two eyes meet, music plays in the background, and just like that, love happens. But the truth is very different, and that's exactly what makes this journey so deep and transformative. The true meeting with your twin flame doesn't begin when you see that person for the first time, but when you look within and realize you need to unlearn almost everything you believed about love, about yourself, about life. It's a paradox, you must lose yourself to find yourself, you must fall apart to rebuild. And it's exactly within that inner chaos, that phase where everything seems to be crumbling, that the real spiritual awakening happens, preparing the fertile soil for divine love to finally bloom. I once heard the story of a woman who, at 35, lost her job, ended a long-term relationship, and found herself completely alone, not knowing what to do. She said that during that time, she cried every night, feeling like her life had fallen apart. But something curious happened, in the midst of all that pain, she began to feel a strange peace, a stillness that didn't make sense. It was as if beneath all the suffering, there was a quiet certainty that everything was happening for a reason. Months later, when she least expected it, she met someone who changed her life completely, not because that person completed her, but because the encounter was like a mirror, reflecting everything she had already healed within herself. That's the essence of soul connections, they don't come to fill your emptiness, but to show you that you were already whole. What many people don't realize is that spiritual awakening isn't a romantic or comfortable process. It's challenging, sometimes painful, and almost always lonely. You start questioning everything, your friendships, your goals, your deepest beliefs. People around you might not understand why you've changed so much, why you no longer fit in the same places, why you crave so much silence. But that's part of the preparation. The universe is cleansing your energy, removing everything that isn't aligned with the frequency of divine love. And when you finally accept this transformation, when you stop resisting and surrender to the process, something magical happens, you begin to notice the signs. And those spiritual signs are not just coincidences, they are clear messages that you're on the right path, that your journey is only just beginning. If you feel like this message touched something deep inside you, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. That way, you'll keep receiving more content like this to help you understand every stage of your spiritual journey. Sign 1, the silence that speaks. There comes a moment in life when the noise of the world simply stops making sense. Those parties you used to love, the shallow conversations that filled your time, even the endless shows you watched just to avoid thinking, all of it starts to feel heavy, like wearing clothes that no longer fit. And then something curious happens, you begin to crave silence. Not the forced or boring kind, but a type of stillness that soothes, that nourishes, that makes you feel at home. It's as if the universe has turned down the volume of the outside world so you can finally hear the voice of your own soul. This is one of the first spiritual signs that you're entering the twin flame journey, because it's within the silence that true preparation takes place. Many people mistake this phase for loneliness or depression, but the difference is clear. While loneliness hurts, this silence brings an inexplicable peace. You might be home alone, doing nothing special, yet feel a sense of fullness you never felt even when surrounded by people. It's as if the soul is entering a kind of hibernation, retreating so it can be reborn in a completely new form. During this stage, it's common to feel the urge to meditate, to walk alone in nature, or simply to sit quietly and watch life go by. And do you know what that means? It means you're creating inner space, clearing your energy so that your connection with your twin flame can unfold without interference. Silence isn't absence, it's preparation. The interesting thing is that once you truly embrace this moment, things around you start to change almost magically. Friends who only brought drama drift away naturally, unnecessary commitments cancel themselves, and you realize you have more time and energy for what truly matters. It's as if the universe is aligning everything so you'll be ready when the right moment comes. Meanwhile, inside, you feel a sweet restlessness, like you're waiting for something important, but without desperation. That's the first sign that your spiritual awakening is gaining strength, and that the energy alignment needed for your twin flame connection has already begun. And if you're experiencing this now, know this, you're not isolating yourself from the world, you're getting closer to your true self. Sign 2, natural detachment. There's a kind of detachment that doesn't come from effort or rational decisions, it simply happens, like leaves falling from a tree in autumn. You look at relationships that once seemed essential and realize you no longer feel the same connection. That job you worked so hard to get no longer brings the same satisfaction. Even those old dreams, the ones you swore were the meaning of your life, start to feel distant, as if they belonged to someone else. And the most curious part? You don't feel anger or guilt, only a calm acceptance that those things no longer belong to your path. This natural detachment is one of the most powerful signs that you're being prepared for something greater, for a connection that goes far beyond the surface. It's the universe sweeping away the fallen leaves before spring, creating space for divine love to bloom. Many people mistake this process for coldness or indifference, but in truth, it's the opposite. It's the soul maturing, recognizing that it no longer needs to cling to people, situations, or dreams out of fear of feeling empty. You realize that you can let go without losing yourself, that you can walk away without guilt, because you understand that every cycle has its time. For example, maybe you've had a friendship for years, but now the conversations feel repetitive, and you notice that you're no longer growing together. Instead of forcing the connection, you simply let it flow, no drama, no lengthy explanations. That's not rejection, it's respect for what that relationship once was and for the new phase you're stepping into. This kind of detachment is one of the clearest spiritual signs that you're aligning your energy to receive your twin flame, because it shows that you're learning to love without attachment, without dependency. The fascinating thing is that as you release the old, the new begins to manifest in unexpected ways. You meet people who vibrate on the same frequency, opportunities appear out of nowhere, and life starts to feel like it's conspiring in your favor. It's as if the universe is testing your ability to trust the flow, to understand that not everything needs to be controlled or logically explained. And the more you trust, the lighter you become. That's the power of natural detachment, it doesn't empty you, it frees you. It prepares you for the kind of love that doesn't imprison, doesn't demand, it simply is. And when your twin flame finally crosses your path, you'll realize that this detachment was essential, because now you're ready for a true soul connection, one built on freedom rather than need. And it's exactly that lightness that opens the doors for the next signs, which only grow stronger and more intense. Sign 3, Intense and Unexplainable Emotions. Suddenly, you're driving, listening to some random song, and tears start falling for no apparent reason. Or you wake up in the middle of the night with a tightness in your chest, a deep longing for someone you don't even know. Some days, an inexplicable joy fills your heart, and on others, a sweet melancholy washes over you, as if you're remembering something your conscious mind forgot but your soul never lost. These emotional waves might seem confusing, even frightening, but they carry a profound truth. They are memories of the heart, fragments of a story that transcends this lifetime. When you're going through a spiritual awakening and getting closer to your twin flame, these intense emotions are actually the energetic language between two souls reconnecting. It's as if you're already communicating, even before meeting physically. There's something fascinating that happens during this phase. You might be doing something completely ordinary, having coffee, cleaning the house, working, and suddenly feel a wave of love so powerful it seems to radiate from your chest. It's not love for anyone in particular, not nostalgia for an ex, it's something greater, purer, almost divine. Some people describe it as being embraced by an invisible presence, as if the universe itself were whispering, "You're not alone, I'm preparing something beautiful for you." These experiences aren't hallucinations or fantasies, they're real spiritual signs that the energy alignment between you and your twin flame is happening. It's as if both of you are tuning into the same frequency, and those emotions are the echoes of that vibration settling into harmony. The challenge here is not to overanalyze everything. Our mind craves logical explanations, wants to understand the reason behind every feeling, but the twin flame journey doesn't work that way. It operates in a dimension where reason has little power, where the heart leads and the soul recognizes what the mind can't yet comprehend. So if you're experiencing these intense emotions, don't suppress them, don't judge them. Just feel. Allow them to move through you like waves in the ocean. Write about them, meditate, or simply take a deep breath and accept that you're going through a profound transformation. These emotions are actually gifts, they're expanding your capacity to feel and preparing you for a kind of love you've never experienced before. And when you learn to navigate these emotional waters, you'll realize the universe has been sending you other signs all along, some so subtle you might not have noticed them yet. Sign 4, Dreams, Numbers, and Synchronicities. Have you ever looked at the clock and seen 11:11, and then, right after, received $11.11 in change at a cafe? Or maybe you dreamed about someone you've never met, but the feeling was so real that you woke up with your heart racing, as if you had just said goodbye to someone deeply important. These are not coincidences, they're direct messages from the universe, signs that something greater is aligning in your life. When you're on the path of a spiritual awakening and getting closer to your twin flame, the universe begins to play with symbols, as if weaving the invisible threads that connect two souls. Repeating numbers, songs that play exactly when you think of something, unexpected encounters that seem orchestrated, all of this is part of the subtle language the cosmos uses to say, "Pay attention, you're being guided." There's a story that illustrates this beautifully. A man shared that for months he kept seeing the number 222 everywhere, on license plates, receipts, work documents, even in his dreams. He found it strange but didn't think much of it. Then one day, during a last-minute trip to a city he had never visited before, he walked into a cafe located at 222 Main Street, and met a woman who changed his life forever. She, too, had been seeing that same number repeatedly in the months before. When they talked about it, they realized the universe had literally been guiding them toward that meeting. These synchronicities are powerful spiritual signs that you're on the twin flame journey, and that the energy alignment between you two is so strong that even the physical world begins to mirror that connection. It's as if destiny were leaving breadcrumbs along the path to make sure you meet at the right moment. The most fascinating part is that once you start paying attention to these signs, they multiply. It's like the universe saying, "Ah, now you're listening, let me show you more." A specific song might play at key moments, carrying a message that touches your soul. You might dream of symbols, butterflies, mirrors, oceans, that represent transformation, reflection, and emotional depth. Or you might meet people who, without realizing it, say exactly what you needed to hear. All of these are ways divine love communicates with you, preparing you, guiding you, aligning you. If you're experiencing these things, start taking notes. Keep a journal and write down every synchronicity, every dream, every number that appears repeatedly. Over time, you'll begin to notice patterns, you'll start to understand the unique language the universe uses to speak to you. And the more you acknowledge these signs, the more prepared you'll be for what's coming next, because the next signs will challenge you on an even deeper level. Sign 5, Accelerated Healing and the Shadow Confrontation. There's a stage in the spiritual awakening that few like to talk about, yet it's absolutely essential, the confrontation with your shadow. Suddenly, all those old wounds you thought you had healed come rushing back, the rejection you felt as a child, the heartbreak from a past relationship, the insecurity you've tried to hide for years. It's as if the universe shines a flashlight into the darkest corners of your soul and says, "Look, you need to heal this before moving forward." And as uncomfortable as it feels, this inner cleansing is the true portal to divine love. Your twin flame doesn't come to complete you or fill your emotional voids, they come to mirror you, to reflect both your light and your darkness. And if you haven't done the inner work first, that meeting can be more painful than liberating. The fascinating thing is that this healing happens at an accelerated pace, almost overwhelmingly so. You may have carried an emotional wound for years without realizing it, but when you're preparing for your twin flame, that wound surfaces within weeks or months, demanding your full attention. For example, if you fear abandonment, you might start feeling that fear more intensely, even without a clear reason. If guilt is something from your past, it will pulse inside you until you face it and release it. It may seem cruel, but in truth, it's pure love. The universe knows you can't carry old baggage into the kind of soul connection you're about to experience. It's like cleaning your home before receiving a very special guest. You need to dust off forgotten corners and throw away what no longer serves you so that the space is truly ready. And here's the secret: when you face your shadows with courage, when you stop running and truly look at your wounds, something magical happens. You discover that inside each pain lies a gift, a lesson, a piece of gold hidden in the mud. That rejection from your past taught you to value those who genuinely choose you. That betrayal showed you the meaning of real trust. Every healed wound transforms into wisdom, strength, and compassion. And when you complete this process, or at least move far along it, you feel a lightness you never thought possible. It's as if you've finally dropped a heavy backpack you've been carrying for years. And it's precisely this lightness, this healing, that raises your vibration and places you in the right frequency to attract your twin flame. Because now, you're not seeking someone to save you, you're ready to meet someone who will walk beside you, as an equal. And that inner transformation prepares you for something even deeper, an expansion of your perception that will change everything you thought you knew about love. Sign 6, Expansion of Consciousness and Heightened Empathy. There comes a moment in the spiritual awakening when something subtle yet profoundly transformative begins to unfold. You start to feel the world in a completely different way. It's as if the boundaries between you and others begin to dissolve, and suddenly, you feel a stranger's pain on the street as if it were your own, or someone's joy fills your chest without warning. You watch the news and find yourself crying for people you've never met. You look into an animal's eyes and sense an unexplainable connection, as though you can feel what it feels. This expansion of consciousness is not weakness or emotional fragility, it's one of the clearest spiritual signs that you're evolving into a higher state of love. It's the preparation for the type of connection you'll experience with your twin flame, where there are no barriers, where what one feels, the other feels too, even from afar. This heightened empathy completely changes how you relate to the world. You realize you can no longer judge people so easily, because now you see beyond the masks, beyond the words. You see the pain behind the anger, the insecurity behind the arrogance, the fear behind the coldness. And that transforms you, making you more compassionate, more patient, more deeply human. For example, that coworker who always seemed annoying might suddenly reveal in a casual conversation that they're going through something painful, and you feel it in your chest, as if it were happening to you. Or you call a friend and somehow just know something is wrong before they even say a word. This ability to feel beyond the obvious is a gift that comes with the twin flame journey, because you're being trained to love in a way that transcends the ego, a love that goes beyond me and you, and discovers us. What's fascinating is that this expansion also transforms your relationship with yourself. You begin to understand that when you care for someone, you are caring for yourself. When you forgive another, you are freeing yourself. When you send love to others, you are raising your own vibration. It's as if everything is interconnected, as if every soul were a drop in the same ocean. And this deep understanding is what prepares you for true divine love, the kind of love that doesn't possess, doesn't control, but simply celebrates the other's existence. When your twin flame finally arrives, you'll experience this elevated empathy even more intensely, almost telepathically. But before that can happen, you must pass through one final stage, perhaps the most important of all, the moment when your soul finally finds peace. Sign 7, the peace before the union. There's a saying that goes, when you stop looking, you find. And nowhere is that truer than in the twin flame journey. After passing through all the stages of awakening, the silence, the detachment, the emotional intensity, the synchronicities, the deep healing, and the expansion of consciousness, you finally reach a place many people believe they'll never find, peace. Not that forced kind of peace where you pretend to be fine, but a genuine serenity that comes from within. It's like the sunset before dawn, that golden, silent moment where everything feels suspended, perfect, complete. You look at your life and realize that even if you're alone, you no longer feel lonely. Even without having met your twin flame yet, you no longer feel that restless anxiety, that sense that something is missing. You simply feel whole. And it's precisely this vibration of wholeness that attracts true divine love. What happens at this stage is almost magical, you stop searching and start being. Love ceases to be a goal to achieve and becomes the natural state of your heart. You no longer need someone to make you feel complete, nor external validation to know your worth. And the most fascinating part? It's exactly when you reach this point that the universe begins to move things in unexpected ways. Unplanned invitations appear, new opportunities open up, and you feel guided, effortlessly. It's like sailing down a river, you don't have to paddle against the current, you just flow. This surrender to the process is one of the most powerful spiritual signs that the reunion is near, because now you're vibrating at the same frequency as your twin flame. You're no longer driven by desire, you're guided by a calm certainty that what is meant for you will arrive in divine timing. And here comes the great turning point, you realize that this entire time, this whole spiritual awakening journey, was never truly about finding someone else. It was about finding yourself. It was about becoming the person you were always meant to be, the one hidden beneath layers of fear, pain, and conditioning. When you finally peel back all those layers and see yourself, truly see yourself, without masks or judgment, something deep within you settles. It feels like coming home after a long journey. And that peace, that inner alignment, that perfect energy alignment between who you are and who you are becoming, is the final portal. Because the truth is, your twin flame doesn't come to fill a void, they come to reflect the wholeness you've already discovered within yourself. And when that meeting finally happens, you'll understand that everything, absolutely everything, made perfect sense all along. After all this journey, after all the signs, and every transformation you've gone through, the truth finally reveals itself with crystalline clarity. Finding your twin flame is, above all, about finding yourself. Not in the superficial sense of self-knowledge that people often talk about, but on a deep, soul level, where you truly understand who you are, where you came from, and where you are going. When you become whole, when you heal your wounds, embrace your shadows, expand your consciousness, and find inner peace, the universe simply mirrors that wholeness in another being. It's as if you've spent years assembling a complex puzzle and suddenly realize the last piece was never lost, it was being prepared elsewhere, by another soul who was also completing themselves. Divine love isn't about dependence, it's not about needing someone to exist, it's about two complete beings who choose to walk together, not out of need, but out of recognition. There's an image that perfectly illustrates this truth. Two souls are like mirrors of water, each reflecting the other's light, yet the light shining in both comes from the same sun. You are not halves seeking completion, you are wholes who recognize each other, vibrating at the same frequency, speaking the same language of the soul. And the most beautiful part? When the meeting finally happens, it's not dramatic, not desperate, it's natural, effortless, like breathing. You look at that person and feel something that goes far beyond physical attraction or admiration. You feel as if you're looking into the reflection of your own spirit, at someone who carries the same essence, the same scars turned into wisdom, the same light earned through darkness. And that's precisely why the entire spiritual awakening process was necessary, because without it, neither of you would be ready for this kind of soul connection. The reunion with your twin flame doesn't mark the end of the journey, in truth, it's just the beginning of a new chapter. Because now, both of you will walk side by side, facing challenges, growing, evolving, always remembering that true love doesn't imprison, limit, or control. It liberates. It expands. It elevates. And everything you've lived until now, every pain, every tear, every moment of loneliness, every sign ignored and later understood, all of it was part of a greater plan, a divine preparation so that you could experience love in its purest form. So, if you're on this journey right now, if you recognized yourself in the signs in this video, know that you are not alone. The universe is guiding you, your soul is preparing you, and in the right moment, everything will align so perfectly that you'll look back and be grateful for every step you took. If any part of this video resonated with your soul, if you felt that chill, that tug in your chest, that quiet certainty that these words were meant for you, that's your sign that you're on the right path. And do you know what that means? That you can't stop here. This spiritual awakening journey is deep, transformative, and every step unveils new layers of understanding about yourself and the divine love manifesting in your life. So if you want to keep receiving content that goes beyond the surface and truly touches the essence of soul connections, give this video a like now. It's not just a gesture, it's an energetic alignment, a way of saying to the universe, yes, I am ready to receive more. And there's more. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, because every week I share new videos about the twin flame journey, the spiritual signs the universe sends, and how to navigate this path with awareness and elevation. Each video is crafted to guide you, to support you, to remind you that you are not alone on this walk. It's like having a spiritual mentor by your side, someone who has already walked through these stages and can show you the way with clarity and love. Turning on the bell ensures you don't miss any important content, any teaching that might be exactly what you need to hear at that moment. And if you want to go even deeper, if you feel ready for the next level of this journey, the video appearing on your screen right now will guide you to the next step of awakening. It's about how to manifest your twin flame through the energy of divine love, a powerful, practical, and profound guide that will show you how to consciously align your vibration to attract what is yours by divine right. Click now, like, watch, subscribe, and keep expanding your consciousness. Because this journey doesn't end here, it's only beginning. And I'll be right here, in every video, walking beside you. Until our next meeting, may the light of your soul continue to shine brighter with every step.